first thing we're going to do to start out, this is our run screen. We don't have the head running, but we want to we want to scroll to our next page, and we want to enable our sensors with the green check. We're going to use the headland mode, so we green check that. And scroll through. There's our sensors. Now we're ready to turn the thing on. When we turn it on, you're going to see, once we have our head running, all of our functions show up, because we have to have the head running in order for that to work. So if we turn that off, they're going to go away, just like that. This is actually our home screen, or you could call it a run screen, but this is all the functions with the head running, so it's easy to see all the options that we have there. We're gonna just go through the buttons. The first button on the top left is our head angle, and it's a 15-second delay. So for 15 seconds we can tilt our head angle using our real fore and aft button. And if you want to move it again, we'll just highlight it and then move your head angle. The next one down is that's to level our wings, and that's to manually level the wings if you need to when you're in the field. The next button down is to manually raise, and the next two buttons are to manually raise and lower the left wheel. So this one here puts it down. This one here raises the wheel back up. We're going to start at the bottom on the other side and go up through. It's the same thing. This one puts the wheel up. This one puts the wheel down to manually do it. This button lowers our wings manually. This button here turns our belts off. Notice they've all gone red. If we touch that, it turns them back on. The center's going to start and run for about 3 seconds before the wings start. And you can notice that the arrows change. There, it's off. The center's running now, and as soon as they change, the side drapers will start to run. That's all of our buttons down the sides. We use the knob to turn our lights on and off. We'll turn them up. There's a blue square around it. Push the button in, turns the lights on. Push the button again, it turns them off. Then we can use that knob to go down and highlight our side belt speed. So when we highlight that, we can change our side belt speeds all the way down to 0, and they will actually stop. Or we can change them and bring them up to 100%. After you select your speed, there we're at 85, you have to push it to save it. We have bar graphs in the middle. That's your head height indicator. So as we put the head down, you're going to see they go down. As we pick the head up, that's actually our working height. You can see that they change. We try to run them in the green area in the middle, but those are our indicators, so you know where the head is operating. This button here we use to advance through the monitor. We have several pages. We're going to talk about all of them. So here's a page. We have this is our headland mode, and this is our height sensor mode. So there's our headland mode. Notice the green check, it's now turned on. So when we raise the head in the headland, it'll automatically level the frame. We could turn that off if we don't want the option. So our headland mode is now turned on, and our sensor mode is now turned on also. Once these are checked, they should stay on when you key off and key back on. They still should be checked. If we have canola knives, you would check these over here. This is our park option. If we're ready to put the head on a header cart with the head running, we can hit the park, and it's a 7-second timer to level the wings and pull the wheels up to make it easy to prep it for a cart. Notice the park function has turned off automatically, and the wheels should be raised the whole way up and the frame should be level. So if we advance to the next screen using that 3-hour button, we have our sickle speed reading, oil temperature. There you can see our oil temperature. There's our hours and minutes and seconds. So we have a timer, and then our software version. On the other side, we have our voltage. Here's our fan for the hydraulic oil cooler. And then we can actually test that fan. It's this button here. We can, to ensure that it's running, kind of like a clean out, and that's a timer that'll count down, and it should be running right now. We can also adjust our contrast. We're going to check it at that. One thing I want to note on this screen, so if we don't have sickle speed, nothing will operate. In order for everything to operate on the head, we have to be reading sickle speed. If we have something happen to the sensor, we can override that sickle speed by holding that for about 5 seconds, and it'll turn red. So if we have the sensor damaged and we want to continue cutting, we can actually override the sensor and make the head operate. If you do that, we want to ensure that only the sensor is damaged and not something else. After we fix the sensor, we can go back to normal operating mode by pushing and holding the button. We're going to advance to the next screen. This is our sensor screen. So as we pick the head up and down, we should be able to see our sensors change, all 8 of them. If we have one of our sensors that's not working properly, we can turn the knob, and you see it's blue. Let's pick R2. We're going to push it. There we go. We're going to hold the button in until disable height sensor comes up, and then we'll use that knob. Do you really want to deactivate sensor 2? Yes, we do. So now we've turned off that sensor because we know we have a problem with it, but we can continue cutting until we get it fixed. After we have it repaired, we're going to push the knob in again, disable height sensor, and and now it's asking us to activate it. Yes, we want to activate it. Now our sensor is ready to go. You can see the values of each sensor. And these sensors down here are our wing protection sensors. We can read the values of them and then advance to our run screen.